Welcome to aminacademy.com. Let us discuss about calculus of multivariable function in economics. Calculus of multivariable functions is the mathematical methods that is used to economics to analyze system and phenomena that involve multiple inputs at once. It is the key tool in both microeconomics and macroeconomics. Here are some concepts related to calculus of multivariable functions in economics. So the calculus is very useful to analyze economic functions, and that we'll do some definitions. Partial derivatives used to measure the effect of change in one independent variable on a dependent variable while keeping the other independent variable constant. That means with some multiple of dependent variables, we have to consider at once one variable and other is a constant. That's called, to do derivatives called a partial derivatives. Optimization. Partial derivatives can be used to optimize functions subject to constraints. Producer behavior. What is producer behavior? Multivariable calculus can be used to analyze producer behavior. For example, it can help determine how many units of capital a firm can give up for one more unit of labor to produce the same amount of output. That's called a producer behavior. Next one, multivariable calculus is the extension of calculus in one variable to functions with multiple variables. It is considered an elementary part of the calculus on Euclidean space. What is marginal productivity? The marginal product of capital, MPK, is defined as the change in output brought about by a small change in capital when all the other factors of production are held constant. Marginal productivity theory is the idea of the company would be willing to pay a worker only what they can contribute to the economy's values. Here, for example, the production function, is given as Q equal 36 KL minus 2 K square minus 3 L square. Here, then for suppose MPK measured by taking the partial derivatives of MPK, that's marginal production capital, equal partial derivative of Q over partial derivative of K, which is equal, here partial derivatives of Q over K, that is K is a variable, L is constant, that is 36L. We can write this as 36L, and here 4K, 2K square differential is minus 4K, and L is a constant, treated as a constant here. Similarly, the labor MPK, marginal production capital with labor, MPL equal dou Q over dou L. That means difference of partial derivative with respect to L. It is 36K, that is 2K square is constant, that is 0, minus 6L. Next one, the marginal product of capital. What is that means? Further definition of the marginal capital of product of capital. The marginal product of capital, MPK, is the additional output that a firm experiences when it adds one unit of capital to its production process. That means if you add 1 unit of capital to the production process, what it experiences in additional output. That is called a marginal product capital. MPK, marginal product capital, is the key concept in economics that helps the firms optimize their resource allocation to achieve maximum efficiency and profitability. It's often used to describe startups that rely on private capital to get their business off the ground. To accurately calculate marginal products, a business must isolate in a single change and track how that change affects the output. Next one, income determination multipliers and comparative statistics. Comparative statistics. Statistics. Income determination is the study of how aggregate demand and aggregate supply interact to determine national income and the general price level. It is a crucial part of an economy as it helps countries manage their revenue and expenses. Here are some things to how that income determination. Income is the money an individual or business earns from work, investments, or production. National income. The national income is the sum of all incomes earned by individuals, firms, and governments. It can also be measured as a real gross domestic product, that is GDP. Next, aggregate demand. Aggregate demand is the sum of consumption and investment expenditure on goods. Next, equilibrium. The equilibrium level of national income occurs when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. That is the equilibrium level of national income is both are equal, that is aggregate demand is equal to the aggregate supply. Income determination formulas. The expenditure approach to calculating national income is national income equal to C, that is household consumption, plus G, that is government expenditure, plus I, investment expenses, plus NX, net exports. These are together gives national income. Income determinants. Factors that determines individual income is include age, education, occupation, and fluctuation in income. Next, what is comparative statistics? In economics, comparative statistics is the comparison of two different economic outcomes. Before and after a change in some underlying exogenous parameter. As a type of static analysis, it compares two different equilibrium states and after the process of adjustment. If any adjustment, that process can be done. It does not study the motion towards the equilibrium nor the process of the change itself. Comparative statistics is commonly used to study changes in supply and demand when analyzing a single market and to study changes in monetary or fiscal policies when analyzing the whole economy. Look at here, income determination multipliers and comparative statistics. For example, that is Y, formula that Y equal C plus I plus G plus X minus Z, where C equal CB plus BY, G equal G0, Z equal Z0, I equal I0 plus AY, X equal X0. Here, these are the some relations. We'll discuss this in later in future videos in problem solving. Now, finally, we can get the partial derivative that input multipliers. The input multiplier is given as there, given as dou y by dou z0 equal, it comes minus of 1 by 1 minus b minus a, and dou y by also can express in terms of dou y over y a equal y bar over 1 minus b minus a. In problem solving, we'll see this detailed things. Next one, income and cross price elasticities of demand. What does it mean? Income elasticity of demand, sigma y, measures the percentage change in the demand for a good resulting from a small percentage change in income. When all other variables are held constant, then you can do this one. Cross price elasticity of demand, that is sigma c, measures the relative responsiveness of the demand for one product to changes in the price of another. That is responsiveness of the demand for one product to change in the price of another. When all other variables are held constant, given that demand function, you can do that here price, income and cross elasticity of demand are economic concept that measures how responsive demand is to change in price, income or the price of another goods. Price elasticity of demand, PED, which means measures how responsive quantity demanded is to change in price. The formula PED equal percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Income elasticity of demand measures how responsive quantity of demand is to change in consumer income. The formula is YED is equal percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. Next, cross elasticity of demand, XED, measures how responsive quantity demanded for one good is to change in the price of another good. The sign of the cross elasticity indicates the relationship between the two goods. The negative cross elasticity means the goods are complements, while the positive cross elasticity means the goods are substitutes. Here, demand function is like, look at here, Q one equal A minus B P1 plus C into P2 plus M into Y, where Y is income, P1 is price of a substitute goods, and income elasticity demand is, therefore from that then price in here EY, that is income elasticity of demand. Therefore, income elasticity of demand is sigma y equal dou q1 partial derivative of q1 over q1 plus dou y over y with respect to y, which is equal dou q1 over dou y is y over q1. Next one, differentials and incremental changes. What is differentials and incremental change? Incremental and differential backups are both types of data backup strategies that differ in the amount of data they capture and how they impact storage and restoration. Incremental backups capture data changes since the lost backups, whether full or incremental. Incremental backups are usually smaller and cheaper than differential backups, and they are a good choice of environments with frequent data changes. Capture all data changes since the lost full backups. Differential backups can be restored faster than incremental backups, but they grow larger with each backups. Here are some of other things to consider about the incremental and differential backups. Incremental forever, this strategy involves taking an initial full backups and they can use then using only incremental backups after that. It requires specialized backup software to piece together the incremental backups to restore data. This can minimize storage needs, but it also increases the risk of data loss if any incremental backups becomes corrupted. So we have to take care in incremental forever. The strategy involves taking an initial full backup and then using only incremental backups after that. Here, for example, we'll put one example here. QB equal 4850 minus YPB plus 1.5 PP plus Y. For this we have to find sigma Y is dou QB over QB plus dou Y over Y equal dou QB over dou Y of Y over QB. For substituting some values for here, we can substitute the values for with Y equal 10,000, PB equal to 200 and PP equal 100. Put these values here. Sigma Y equal which gives, after calculating, which gives, that is dou QB dou Y equal 0.1 it comes. Therefore, QB 4850 minus 5 into 200 plus 1.5 into 100, 0.1 we are substituting dou QB by dou Y. 0.1 into 10,000, which gives 5,000. Now, further, for more understanding this concept, we'll do an example problem. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.